Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Dion from Dion Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, doing great. Excited for round two. I really like doing these videos because I edit videos. I usually, research, script, make a video, put it out. And that means I had time to look up what I was talking about. These kind of videos where the person watching gets to see what investors keep in top of mind awareness so we can make snap decisions, I think are maybe better than the ones that I edit and script.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for that. There are no videos that are better than you when you are acting as multiple personalities. Those are awesome and so well done. I don't edit videos because, frankly, I'm lazy and I just like putting out content and moving forward. But no, your videos are amazing. Hey, what I want to talk about here is I want to actually make a, I don't know how to say this right, a positive video about my fear of 2023, if that makes sense. So if people have been watching my channel for the last week or so, I now believe rates are going higher. We saw what happened to the housing market at 6%. We're about to experience by the end of the year or January what happens at 7%, and it won't be good. I believe a 7% mortgage rate held there for months is going to ultimately lead to a 50% crash in national transactions. It will do this for new homes and existing homes sold. It'll be the second time our housing market has crashed 50%. Some people hear me say that and they hear doom and gloom. I understand those are scary numbers. A 50% crash is horrible. If you're in the business, get a second job, buckle up, whatever it is, right? Lower your spending. But I want to have a conversation, you and me, and as investors, and just tell you, I'm ecstatic about what is coming. I think a housing slowdown is awesome. I hate making decisions in 7 seconds. I have no problem with rates being 7, 8, 9, 10. It's one variable on a spreadsheet. I've been doing this long enough to know that I could do seller financing, and there's other creative ways. I can talk to sellers who want to work with people who will perform. I don't need a perfect property for FHA or VA. I don't need to fit in some box for for conventional lending. I can do non-QM private. I actually think, Dion, there's a very good chance that Olivia and I buy our biggest building in the next 2 years. I am ecstatic about 2023 and the opportunities that are ahead of us. But I thought I would ask another investor because sometimes I get behind blind spots and I miss stuff. What are you thinking about 2023 if you've had a chance to?
I'm excited, maybe for different reasons. There's a concept I use when it comes to almost any decision I'm making. The confused mind says no. If you don't understand and have the details, you back off. And right now there's so much information, misinformation, fear porn, like all of this data out there. And so many people are thinking, what if rates double? What if prices double? What if prices go down 50%? What if rates go down to 0? Like they're thinking of all of those things instead of, here's why I'm excited. It's confusing. And no one's crystal ball seems to be working. So a lot of people are sitting back going, okay, I'm going to wait because I don't know what's going on. The person who's going to benefit has the dialed in buy box, the dialed in ability to calculate area average rents, the ability to see a great deal when it happens, not when they think something's going to change that turns it into a good deal. And this is why I'm excited. And it's very selfish. It's because that's me. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly the numbers I would want to see. And so we're going to see a lot of content come out saying days on market are up 25%. Well, that's from the record low of 17.
They should go up 100%. Let's be clear.
Exactly. They need to go up way more than that. We're going to see inventory increase. And so many people are going to make the mistake of thinking inventory causes a crash. And inventory doesn't impact it at all. What causes the crash is forced sellers. If a person doesn't have to sell and they put it on the market, now this is a mistake that I've seen. I've probably talked about this in the past too. I say, well, you watch days on market and when they hit like 300, that person has to take a lower offer. Now that person decided not to sell 6 months ago or maybe a year ago. And they're just letting it sit there because it doesn't cost anything to have it sit on the MLS.
Nope.
A forced seller will take the lower rate, the lower price. But until we have a reason to have a bunch of forced sellers, we don't have adjustable rate mortgages. We don't have ninja loans. We don't have people with 105% of the loan wrapped up to get closing costs in there. We're at 3.7 on your live stream this morning, percent in unemployment. If that doubled, if it literally went to over 6, that's another 5 million people looking for jobs. 5 million. with the great resignation that's going on right now, we have over 4 million people a month leaving their jobs for over the last year.
Yeah.
Like,
We have
that's not going to,
the Jolt survey, 11.1 million openings. How about that?
right. So more than 2
Yeah,
per
it's crazy.
person
Crazy.
looking for work. So it's not so much that I'm excited that I see a crash coming or I see rates going so high, I lose competition with everyone. I think it's confusing. There's so many moving parts that the person who doesn't dial in, here's what I'm looking for, here's where I'm looking, this is my strategy for finding it, this is how I approach with seller financing or my traditional lending or whatever that is, the person that's sitting back and not working on all that is screwed.
No, that's exactly right. You've heard me say this, and I'll say it again. I actually called July 20th as the date that all this changed, and I think it's going to be proven historically correct. That was the National Association of Realtor Reports for June, which was bad, and everything has changed. Everything is negative, and every time a negative article, or now we can say negative YouTube video, I get to say there goes 2% of my competition, because exactly what you've said, and I did not put 2 and 2 together until you outlined it so crystal clearly. Most people have too much data, too much information. It's only the people that have a buy box that will win. A buy box is 2 things. Most people think it's 1 thing. Everybody gets that a buy box is what I should look at every day. They get it. If they watch me long enough, they get that. What most people fail to realize is a buy box has a step 2. It is permission. No, it is a requirement to look at nothing else. Most people F this up and they keep looking at other stuff. I, on my channel, repeatedly talk about national housing market. I did a video today on Zillow's housing crash in Sacramento, in Austin, in Dallas. I did that because I have a national audience. I spend 0 time looking in Sacramento, Dallas, and Austin. My buy box is Fresno, California. I looked at it this morning again. We'll look at it again tonight in all likelihood. Yes, a buy box is twofold, folks. Most of you are missing this. Dion gets it. I need to look at it every day for 20 minutes. There is a step 2. Stop looking at everything else. I hadn't put that together, Dion. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's funny. It's like people are looking for reasons to not take action. So when you see something that gives you that confirmation bias, crash or correction, and I've done this. I have a video coming out this weekend where I'm talking about the correction that's happening. Mm-hmm. The expected, repeated, every time of year at this point in time, every year, the correction that happens is here.
Yeah. Okay. It's called seasonality, not to steal the
correct, right. But you're going to see a lot of videos talking about look at the prices are down 10% in this area month on month.
Yeah, month on month. Yeah. It is again, it's almost like winter comes after summer. I mean, shocking.
It's almost like, and it is something worth paying attention to. On all but one of my deals, I closed between November and February.
Oh,
less competition.
I've told people repeatedly, right? I've talked about the deal of the decade coming around once a year. 7 out of my 10 deals of the decade were between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. Less competition.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, not only less competition, don't forget the second side. If you are selling a property between Thanksgiving and New Year's, do you think you might be motivated? Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
The last thing I'm excited about for 2023 is we need to almost make another t-shirt, because the people who are going to benefit from the inflation that we're still seeing are going to be the people who own the assets that appreciate.
Yeah.
So inflation is going to impact that even more. So the t-shirt is now going to read, in 2023, I used inflation to get richer.
Richer.
Ask me how.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, it's again, it's amazing. We did that 52-year spreadsheet over a year ago. I think it's 16 months ago now, and it is the answer to the riddle. And I'm glad we put that out there. I'm glad we give it away for free, because again, to win the game, you got to own the asset. You should have 30-year fixed rate debt, no arms, because again, you don't know what happens over a decade. There was a decade where rates more than doubled. I don't want that risk. Rents go up, value. It's just, people who own the assets win. Get on the property ladder, right?
Yeah. And I still feel so bad for the people for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So
I do.
I,
Me too.
I like that we've mended fences with real estate mindset,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
and we've learned from it that yes, there is an element of people who want to be first-time home buyers
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
are generally not watching one rental at a time or one rental anything,
Yeah.
right? But we need to explain. So if you're a first-time home buyer, here's some things to think of that are a little
Sure.
different, right?
We could be better. Yep.
But my concern in the comments on real estate mindset is the ones, and I see 2 or 3 of these in every single video of his, which lets you know I watch his content. So
Mhm.
Travis does a great job.
Mhm.
So many comments say, I'm so glad I didn't let my girlfriend talk me into buying last year. And I think, okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on that, but those are the people I'm hoping to try to reach and say, look, if you're going to buy, if your intent is to buy, that person wants to buy next year after the crash or whatever. Here's what you missed out on by not buying last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I'm a math guy, right? I'd love to see the math behind that. Because again, again, I don't know the comment, don't know the context, but again, the math would generally say you missed out on lifetime low rates, fixed rate debt, you've missed a year of appreciation. It's I'd
You've
have
risked rental increases.
yeah, rent increases. I
You've
mean,
been paying rent.
I guess I need to see the math because logically speaking, not seeing it, that doesn't make sense to me. But you know, I don't know. But yeah,
And so the question I would ask anybody is, look at the last 100 years. Look up the data on home prices for the last 100 years and tell me, name a year where you wouldn't have wanted to buy properties.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Even 2008, everyone's like, oh, it's the peak before the crash. Well, 3-4 years later,
yeah,
you look like a genius if you bought right then.
Yeah, and then the last thing about real estate mindset, I just want to call out again, Travis. I think a lot of his feedback, kind of when you sit back and then I take it in, is right. We have, we've missed the mark on some things. Maybe I didn't appreciate the way it was said, but the intent or the message behind it was understood. So, I believe that all the channels, right? Lumberjack Landlord, Dion, Millennial Mike, Real Estate Mindset, all are well-intentioned individuals. So, I like that. So, Travis, shout out to you. Keep doing what you keep doing what you're doing. Take care of yourself. And Dion, we've got to get over to Matt the Lumberjacks channel and do the Three Amigos. So, thank you for doing this morning. Take care.
Ciao.